Yo, do you remember the dream life you built for yourself by the time you're 25?
Yeah. Let's all laugh at that together.
Now you're 30 something and you don't have the car,
The job,
The business.
the spouse, and feeling a little like a mess.
we're here to tell you you're still on track to that dream and doing just fine. I'm Beleza.
I'm Kiki.
I'm Gigi, and this is your podcast. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to 30 and a
Mess.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Beleza.
What up, y'all? I'm Kiki.
And you know it's Gigi. I'm here every week. And if your life is still in shambles, welcome back because we're here to clean it up.
How was everybody's weekend?
It's been good. Relaxing so far.
Mine too. Happy
My
Monday,
weekend-
everyone.
My weekend wasn't really a weekend. And I'm so glad we're even here to discuss this 9 to 5 situation.
Oh, what happened?
Ooh, girl, let's talk about
Let
it.
me tell you. So we have like a lot of deadlines, and I've been like really lackadaisical at work because my boss was telling me like, oh yeah, flex your time if you need to, flex your time, like don't go overtime, all that stuff. And then one day I just look up and I see these deadlines coming at me with all these hands, and I'm like, I really gotta be here at work. So for the last 2 weeks I've been going in early and leaving like super late. I wanted to make up for that because I wasn't going back in after that dental appointment. I had like a bone graft put in.
Oof.
Right? So I went
Okay.
in at 5 or 4 in the morning, Saturday morning. And like I just was catching up on work, and then it was like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I went to stop at my facilities that I oversee. And then I came on home and started kicking it with my girls. We were planning for, we were planning for today. You know what I'm saying?
Aw.
So I feel like I'm just working because I'm trying to catch up because flexing time is not enough. Like that 40 hours that they delegate for you to get your tasks done is not enough. So that 9 to 5
Is it ever though? Is it ever
it
enough?
don't,
Girl,
it
no.
don't sound real to me. I'm just saying we need to talk about this. I
Let's
need
talk
some
about it.
counseling or something.
First of all, you going in at 5 a.m. on a Saturday, girl.
That's a problem.
Yo,
That's a problem.
deadlines
And we
is
not doing
deadlines.
inventory? That's a problem.
Lord.
It's a big problem.
Yo, deadlines is deadlines, and when you got to get it done because your name is attached to it, I feel like it don't. It's toxic. It's toxic. That's all I gotta say. It's
Ain't
toxic.
Yeah,
lying.
you definitely ain't lying about that, bro. I think we all deal with the extra hours, making sure stuff getting done.
So, like, for the people listening, please remind us what you do for your 9 to 5. I mean, they already know that we have a 9 to 5 still, but remind us what you do, please.
Yeah. So for my 9 to 5, and I barely talk about it. My 9 to
So
5.
she don't like to talk about work after work.
The secret agent is the honesty.
I don't. I mean,
She will cut a whole conversation off if it starts going into where she's like,
That's
It
a
is
healthy
after
boundary,
work
though.
hours. We're not talking about work.
That's a healthy boundary, though. That's a healthy
Thank
boundary.
you, right? Every time, no matter who I'm with, the crew, I'm like, we've been at work all day.
And you know what? It's good that she has that boundary because it's hard. Your life is like what you're working, like your
Right.
whole life. You're doing 40 hours at any job, so it's really hard not to not talk about work because it's such a big portion of your life. But it's good that she be like, cut it right here.
But it be to the point, like, even when I'm dating, I be telling people, like, yo, all he talks about is work. That drives me crazy. That drives me crazy. Like, there's more to life than work.
Let me tell you something right now. That's gonna drive you a lot of crazy if you got a man who's working. I'm just saying. He gonna be talking about work.
I feel you, but
unless he a bum.
Unless he a bum. Nah, it just really depends on who you date. Because I've dated people who never talked about, we'll talk about it maybe 5-10 minutes, but we don't. It's not every. It's not.
Well,
every
if he not talking to you about work, he's talking to somebody else about work. He gonna talk about work regardless.
As he should. Talk to me about work. I am your place of peace, and work is stressful.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it depends on your job. Not all jobs are stressful.
That's true.
That's true. But like I said, to your point, if guys talking about work 24/7, let me take your mind off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. My 9 to 5. I am a senior business analyst.
What that mean?
For the past. Yeah, so I worked in merchandising for the past 10 years. What I do is I work with the engineers who create the software, and then the software that the merchandising team uses at my company, I will train them on it. So any enhancements that happen, any trainings that need to be done, any presentations that need to be done on like a higher level leadership, I guess, meeting, I would present out and tell them like, okay, this is what we're working on. This is what we're doing to enhance, to help, so y'all can make more money and stress less.
So you're like an IT adjacent type position.
In a way, I'm nowhere near IT. I'm the liaison. That's what I tell people. I'm the liaison between the software and the users.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely different than what I'm used to. Since I left college, I was in merchandising. So I work for top Fortune 500, but no, in the past, I've worked for Carter's Inc., Oshkosh B'gosh. I've worked for Parodies Lagardère, which all the retail stores that you see in the airports. So I did clothing and accessories. So it was a lot of fun, very creative. And then I came to this job, cool, still creative too. But then again, I ended up promoting out, and now I'm in this position. So it's definitely different from the merchandising world. But it's cool. It's definitely way more lax. If anybody's in merchandising, y'all know I went from 100 to 200 emails down to literally maybe 10 emails a day. That's crazy.
What, you deleting the rest?
You feel like it, right?
You're like, I'm not reading that. Let me get this. Let me just do the last 10. That's it.
And we're told that we have to reply to all of the emails before we leave. So imagine getting 100 to 200 emails a day, making sure that you answered all of them and get your work done. And like I said, anybody in merchandising knows that I ain't lying. That's how life was. So my life the past few months have been very chill.
That's good. That's good.
Which is good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So for me, I work in adult felony probation and parole here in Georgia. I've been doing that for the 4 years that I've been here. What it consists of is just me supervising probationers and parolees coming out of jail, coming out of court. And my job is to make sure that they're integrated back into society successfully. So what we do is we provide a whole bunch of resources to them. They come out of jail needing resources, and we provide them with employment. We apply them with housing that they may need. We give them classes if they have any substance abuse problems, any mental health issues, just pretty much anything that they may need to get started. If they need IDs, to have their IDs on them, anything like that. Financial assistance in terms of like learning how to manage their finances. We provide all of that for them. I've been promoted in the last year to a field training officer. So what I do now is train new incoming officers coming into the job, and I train them on how to be an officer. So that's my current role now.
You need to train them not to be so trigger happy. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen. Now the beauty of probation and parole is that it seems like probationers and parolees are more compliant with probation officers than they would be with real officers, which is understandable. But that could be a whole nother podcast.
Of course it can be. Of course it can be.
Whole nother
We're gonna bring some of your friends.
But me personally, I honestly think Georgia is like, it's a law enforcement state, which is already kind of a problem, but a lot of people are integrated into probation and parole in Georgia. Like we have like one of the highest numbers of probationers and parolees in terms of states.
That's wild.
So that speaks value in itself.
Yeah. So Gigi, what you do for work? All right. So for work, I am.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
So for me, I am a federal employee. I basically work in conjunction with the military to bring events and businesses and recreational things for the soldiers to relax. A lot of times they're out on the front lines fighting for us and making sure that we're safe. But I do know my responsibility is to make sure that they have access to facilities that they can relax in. So I have like a bowling center under me. There's a fitness center to keep them, ready for the fight. There's the swimming pool, the aquatic
center. You have
center.
access to these?
I have access to all these as well. Yep.
Oh, that's
There
I'll come
is
visit
a.
you.
Facts.
You'll come visit?
Oh yeah.
Is that what it takes for you to come visit me?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it
I
does.
see where we stand. No, but there's also we call it a club, but it's really a restaurant slash event venue location that they can do like their like if they have like baby showers or if they have like a celebration or promotion or whatever they have going on they can do there and like dine there and everything. But then we also do things for people on the outside that also interact with the military as well. So that's basically what I do.
Wait, really quick. What do you like most about your job?
This is where you insert the cricket sound, okay? Um, but I literally am in transition. I try not to focus on what I like or what I don't like. I'm just trying to find my way. I still feel like the numbness of transition. I still feel all of that. And then this new norm for me, like what do I like, is still the question for me. I'm starting to get the hang of my position, but you know how that goes. But thank you for asking me. Are you happy in your career?
Nah, not really. I'm here for.
Damn, that shit hit the ground hard like a rock.
Like dang, you went down.
She didn't skip the rock or nothing. She just threw that shit on the
You
ground.
asked me if I was happy, but now if there's parts of my job that I like, yeah, there are some parts of my job that I like. One, the team is cool. My team is they're cool, very chill, lax. That's one thing I learned. IT, they don't really talk much, but they talk
I love that about IT.
random stuff. They are diverse, like a whole bunch of different cultures. I like that, and then I also I like the training portion. I love training. It's something that I've always desired, so that's fun.
What about you, Kiki?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't feel unhappy with my career, but I don't know if it's 100% fulfilling me just yet. So I don't know if I'm not unhappy with my career, but I don't know if it necessarily makes me 100% happy or fulfilled. That's what I'm trying to figure out now. Like I'm working on promoting right now to see if there's other avenues to the job that will give me that full percentage of happiness. But it's not at a place where I'm like, I don't like my job. Like I like what I do. And I do feel that I actually am helping people in my career, which is what I've always wanted to do, some form of helping people. So I don't know. I don't know how to fully answer that question just yet. But subject to come, we'll see.
What are some pieces of your job that you like? Like Beleza answered, like there's certain parts that she like enjoys.
Like I said, I love assisting people. I love training. Since I've been a field training officer, I absolutely love that. There's just still a lot with the job that is stressful, and I don't know if the stress is worth what I'm doing sometimes. But that's the part that I'm still figuring out. But I do love training. I do love assisting probationers and parolees kind of figure out life. Because a big portion of my job is helping them to figure out how to maintain life on their own, not just us giving them resources. Is giving people that aha moment. And I like that, like helping somebody to get an aha moment of, oh, this is how my life can be better.
So is it like, are you like rehabilitating them to be back into society? Like, is that what that is? Is that what you're doing?
Yes. What people may or may not know with probationers is a lot of times they turn to crime because they have no other resources or they feel there's no other outlet for them to be successful. And what we do is we're teaching them how to be successful without having to go to crime. So a lot of people have what we call criminogenic needs because they're like, I can't make enough money to get food, so I must just steal the food so I can feed my family. Say, you can take a lower paying job for now and build yourself up into it. Like it's like just because you have a record, it doesn't mean you can't get employment. But we teach them how to not only get employment in certain things, but to get those skills so that they can eventually get the jobs they want, even though they may or may not have that record at the end of their probation.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I think we should leave like a link or something for some resources for people who are listening.
Absolutely.
Who might know somebody who needs that. Do you think the 9 to 5 is a myth? Because we have tasks that we have to complete and sometimes we just can't get it done from that 9 to 5. Like, do you think that then qualifies 9 to 5 as a myth?
I don't know. Myth is a stretch. I want to say myth, but I definitely will say it's not truthful in calling it a 9 to 5. I think back in the day, it was truly like a 9 to 5. You know what? I don't even know. I ain't lived back then. I don't know. Stressed out. All I can go off of is those 60 shows. But you know, that may not be real life. You know, I don't. Now, when you're hourly, I do see it like as a 9 to 5. You come in, do what you got to do, punch out on your breaks, punch out when you leave. They only pay you on what you punch in on and punch out for. But I've been living a salary life since straight out of college.
So if you go over as a 9 to 5, do they pay you for that too?
As salary?
No, as a 9 to 5.
Yeah, but it's overtime.
Okay.
So when it's overtime, depending on the company, you get time and a half. Depending on the company, because even when I was temping, I was technically clocking in and out, but I got paid overtime, so I got time and a half if I did work over. So they encouraged me not to.
Yeah, and
you was breaking their bank. That's why.
Yeah, and
breaking their pockets
with that. I like she said, I don't know if it's necessarily the 9 to 5 is a myth. I do think there are jobs that you do your job, and then when you clock out, that's the end of your shift. That's the end of your job. You don't have to take work home. And I've worked jobs like that when I was younger. Like coming out of college, I have hourly jobs. I worked retail. I've done all of that.
Yep.
So those were jobs that I can, like, as soon as I clocked out, the job was done. There was nothing for me to have to worry about. But in, like she said, me working a salary job, it is 40 hours is not enough. 9 to 5 is not enough to get the stuff done that needs to be done in a timely fashion where you don't feel like things are starting to pile up in your behind, and also that you're not going to get reprimanded for not getting something done by a certain time. So you will tend to bring work home when you're working some salary style jobs.
By the way, I asked that question, y'all know what the hell I think. They lied to me. They sold me wooden chips that I can't cash.
To my face.
Liar.
No, but for real, like, how do you create that balance then? Like, how do you balance your life when you have that kind of circumstance? But for me, I feel like I've never really experienced a 9 to 5 because I've always been in positions where, one, I was either in a leadership type role, or two, where I just enjoyed the environment that I worked in or the job that I worked in, that I was willing to work beyond my set time. Like, managers wouldn't have to ask me, like, oh, can you stay? Like, I was just like, oh yeah, I got it. I'll be here. Yep. You want me to come? I'll come today. Like, it was never really like a question for me. So I think that's why I think that it is a myth. Well, I know that's why I think that it's a myth. But yeah, how do you balance your life and work? Like your social life and your work life and personal life, of course.
I don't. I'm being
like balance. What's that?
If I'm really to be 100% honest, I have no balance on it just yet. And that's what I'm also trying to figure out, because I'm being more stressed out because of it. But honestly, it's hard for me because of the fact that I don't like for things to pile up. So the moment I need something, I'm trying to get it done. And then it doesn't help that I have a work computer so that comes home with me. So like constantly I'm looking at an email or something, but it's hard. I would say for me, it's hard to balance that more so in a training position and supervisor position versus being a regular officer. Cause like if I was a regular officer, I make my schedule in terms of when I'm going out, what I'm doing and things of that nature. Being a trainer or a supervisor, I have to approve stuff for other people to do. And I feel like if I don't get it approved in a certain amount of time, they cannot do their job efficiently. So I put the pressure on myself, I will say that, to do more out of work hours and just trying to figure out that balance. I'm still figuring that out. It's coming.
Well, good luck.
Good luck. Believe the balance is coming, but I'm still figuring that out.
So, what that girl said in Players Club, you better make that money, don't let that money make you.
Facts. Straight facts.
Girl, you better make that money.
Don't let that money make you.
But Liza, what about you? Like, how do you have balance between work and personal life?
I have balance now, but I strategize for this.
Tell me more.
Somebody from LinkedIn dropped in my DMs and was like, hey, we got this position. I knew it was high stress because it's merchandising. However, after 2 years, you automatically promote out. So I said, okay, bet. I'm going to go into this thing. I'm going to do my 2 years bit with the experience that I have. So then people will trust me because I have more experience. So people are not, like, my managers and stuff won't be down my throat. And like I said, those 100, 200 emails, doing all them strategies and blah, blah, blah. Once I was done with that, I would automatically promote out. So once I promoted out, again, I went from 150 emails down to 4 emails a day, if that. And so I'm like, I now have time to work on what I want to work on and balance, because if I can balance something that's high level and stress, I can now balance the more chill life. And then on top of that, for those that don't know, I was also an advisor on my off time. So not only did I have my quote unquote 9 to 5, but working maybe 60-hour, 70-hour weeks, I was also balancing, managing undergrads at Spelman College. So I really had to learn on, okay, how do you balance life? How do you make time for this and not be overly stressed? How to do that? And I mean, you're going to be stressed regardless, but I had to find a way. Like I literally sat down, went to YouTube University and figured out ways of how do I meditate? How do I do this? How do I balance that? And so now that I have more time, I'm like, I'm on go, but it's because now I can strategize better because I don't have that high stress job like I used to have my 9 to 5.
Okay. I want to take a moment to thank God for YouTube University. Like there has been so many things that I have learned and grown from YouTube University. I mean, I feel like the internet is a blessing and you can do things based on what you're looking up.
All the training.
But that's beside the point. For me, for balance.
No, but we can talk about the free resources. We can make that an episode about all the free resources that are out there
to learn,
to learn and do what you want to do without necessarily having to go the 4-year college route.
Yeah.
But Google for me, have a whole thing for IT. Google literally has whole classes for IT.
Yeah.
Like IT techs and all that.
And that's why I was like, I refuse to get my master's or doctorate unless somebody was paying for it. But again, I'm not going to do it if I got free resources.
For me, the work-life balance, it really isn't a balance for me. I think I'm trying to group days at a time. So like some days when I come home, I just want to relax. And some days I come home, I have to do like errands and housework. And then when I'm at work, I literally am just at work. Like, I try not to think about other things that I have to get done. But they're also that type of setup leaves a very small slither for me for social life. So I am trying to do better with, I guess, project management type setup. I think I have to look at my life like a whole project. So like work would be a project, and then within that we'll have other projects. And then home would be a project and have within that other projects. So
that's good.
I had recently looked up project management for learning on YouTube. So that's why I was like, I want to take a moment to thank YouTube because like the information is there. You just have to go get it. That's it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it. So you already touched on like the differences between salary and hourly already. Do you think we've outgrown that? Like, do you think it's outdated to our lifestyle?
Everything's outdated in our life.
Erase everything and start from scratch.
Throw
it all out.
I don't know if it's
outdated.
I don't know if it's outdated.
I think it's annoying and it's stressful and we have to find a better balance, but I don't know if it's outdated. I think America overworks and focus on productivity than people's mental. And I say that because I've been to other countries where, I mean, they take 2 to 3 hour lunches. But that's what I'm saying. Like some places find that balance. So we just got to find a good balance. I think we do overwork and don't think about nothing else but that productivity. Again, you're up until 3, 4 in the morning because your name is attached to it to get a project
to get it done.
The pressure is real.
Yeah.
The managers put a lot of pressure, but I don't even blame the managers because leadership is putting pressure on the managers. So I never stress on that.
That's also what we're trained to do in school, though. We're trained to get up, go do this for a certain amount of time, get it done within that certain amount of time, and go home. So that's literally the whole basis of how America is ran. Like, you get up, you go to work, and you go home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can't say that it's outdated because that's what they're literally teaching us how to do it and what to do.
You can absolutely say it's outdated because that's what they're teaching us to do. Like, think about like it's a little outdated. I mean,
right, but if you're trying to go to, I would say it's outdated for certain jobs, like maybe my job where I can make my own schedule or my own hours. But somebody who's working at a fast food restaurant, if they decided not to come into work, how you getting your food? That's not an outdated thing for that type of job.
I lived in Germany for 6 years, right? So in Germany, they literally had like, you can go get breakfast or whatever, like early. They would close for like a few hours from like some places from 12 to 5, some places from 2 to 4, some places like it was kind of like staggered within the town. And They made it work. And then when the employees would come back, they would all eat together, and then they would start the shift for the evening. So I think there can be a balance. And then on Wednesdays, they used to close early and have the free day for themselves with their families. And then Sundays was completely closed. Like Sundays, like you weren't supposed to do any laundry. There's no mowing of your lawn. Like if you're mowing your lawn, like the police side would pull up on you. Like,
but you see, but that just kind of shows back to what I'm saying. They built it that way.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this,
Society built it that way. And so
but there's
America
school.
still has not. They want you to run on that training of get up early, do what you gotta do, get out, and you'll be so tired that you won't want to do anything else. But I think companies have to work together, to your point, because you're pretty much saying everybody made it work. Companies would have to work together to where it did flow well.
Yeah, and is that across the board for every company? Because what about the people making cars, making factory jobs that are making certain products? If that's not on one accord, that means we're not getting certain products the way we need to.
I'm just saying, like things. I'm just saying that out there things can be changed. It will take a long time, because think about it, the history of America. I'm just saying a lot of things have been outdated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they used to not have seatbelts, right? For example, that's outdated. Like, you must have a seatbelt. Like, literally, they're giving out tickets if you don't wear your seatbelt. So I think that yes, it will take a while for it to change, but it doesn't mean that the fact that it will take a while for it to change, that doesn't mean that it's not outdated. Is what I'm saying.
I feel you. I think we're just agreeing.
Plus, we all addicted to trying to work for our next vacation. We're addicted to trying to like see how we can rack up our PTO time. We're addicted to like partying whenever we can. Like, life shouldn't be like.
Wait, hold up. Backtrack. Let's talk about PTO. And I'm asking because
them companies are like Debo. These companies are like Debo with the PTO. They're like, what PTO? Like, damn. Like,
I think I learned early on in my life because of that high level stress of working 80 hours. When you take off, let me tell you a story. My sister, story time. My sister was graduating high school, and my VP, I asked to take off, and they said, you can't take off. We have a big leadership meeting, which we did. We had a leadership meeting with the CEO. We have it every quarter. Right. We have it every quarter. However, in my position where I was as an assistant buyer, I said, I will help prepare for everything for that meeting, but I will not be there. They said, if you do not come, your job will be on the line. And I said, okay. One thing I'm not going to do is miss my sister's graduation from high school, though. And so I left.
As you should have.
Right. But that's not where I was trying to get to with the PTO. What I'm saying, what I wanted to get is, I'll be damned before somebody tells me what I can and cannot do, even if I work at a company and I know that my work is quality.
Preach on it.
I know that's hard to say. I know that's hard to say because,
for a lot of people, it's hard to say, Beleza. But we also don't have children. We also don't have we literally have to take care of ourselves. We don't have to worry about other mouths to feed,
True. But in this instance, think about it. My sister could have been my daughter in that moment of her having a recital or something that I wanted to be at. That's still my family. So it's like,
but I'm saying it's easier for you to make that choice.
It's a choice. It's not easier for me to make that choice because I live in Atlanta by myself. I paid all bills by myself. It's not easier for me to make that choice. However, I'm going to keep my values. Don't just quit, but rethink certain things. And after that, I rethought about it. And after a few months, I did end up leaving that company because you're not going to threaten my whole job just because I want to go to something that's very important. It'd be different if I wanted to go to the club and you're like, I can't do that.
It'd be different. It also would be different if you was doing that every day. If you was one of those workers that was like, "Oh, I'm leaving today.
I'm going here and I'm doing that and this and that." You know what I'm saying? That's different. But we're talking about a moment, a special moment in my family's life, and you're telling me that I'm liable to not be at a meeting that I don't speak at, and now I'm going to lose my job. That's wild. But what I wanted to talk about PTO is how does y'all PTO work? Because I get PTO out the gate. Like you get 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And some people talk about how it accumulates. I was like, oh no. Every job that I've had, you get it straight out the gate. Whether it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, but it doesn't accumulate. It starts as soon as you get the job.
By the grace of the Lord himself, mine accumulates. I know for some people that like they don't like that system either.
Like that.
But I can say I like that system just because
you get a lot.
I can accumulate
you can get a lot
of it, and then when it's time for me to take it, they're not going to tell me no on that. Like
Gotcha.
I can like right now I built up enough that I can take off 4 weeks if I want to.
Okay.
And they're not going to say nothing on that because that's my time that I built up.
Yeah.
But I personally like that system just because, but once again, I am one of those people that are like a workaholic. So it's very rare for me to take off work unless I'm like really ill or something's going on in my family.
Oh, that's true.
It's like really rare. So it's not hard for me to accumulate that time. But I know for some other people, they said they don't like the whole accumulation factor of it. But I get 10 sick, 10 and 10 annual every 2 weeks. That's how mine.
10 what? 10 hours?
Days?
Hours. 6 hours, 10 sick. It's every 2 weeks.
We have unlimited sick days.
So for me, PTO right now, I'm at the level of getting 6 hours of annual leave and 4 hours of sick leave each pay period, which essentially is every other week. But once it reaches, I think like 260 hours, it starts to go into use or lose. So either have to use it or I'll lose it. So you can keep the 260, but anything over, you have to use it or it'll expire.
Hopefully y'all not keeping it, actually using it though.
But listen, I do use it. Y'all know I like to travel. My sick leave is like 400 and something hours. I don't know how or when I'm gonna use that because I have a very healthy immune system. Thank the God above. Like I'm barely ever sick.
Shoot, that's supposed to be your vacation part too.
Facts. Yeah, I have
I
think I accumulated so far about a little over 300 sick and probably about like 280 or 260 annual leave right now.
So technically y'all can use your sick days as vacation days if you don't use it as sick days.
I wouldn't tell the job that, but yeah.
I don't want to lie like that because I'll be looking all stupid when they ask me what I do.
But also if you're using sick time after a certain amount of time, you have to send doctor's notes. So if I call out sick for 5 days straight, now they looking at FMLA like, okay, what's going on? Yeah. So it can't just be that you're just using the sick time. Yeah, so the sick is a little bit more difficult to use than annual, but your annual time is literally your time. I also get 24 hours personal time, which to me is the same as annual, but they give us that too. And then I get 8 hours education time that I just use as annual whenever I need to.
It sounds like they give y'all more sick time than vacation time.
No, my sick and vacation builds exactly the same. I just use the annual more than I would use my sick. Because like she said, I got a clean bill of health, thank the Lord Jesus above, so I don't use my sick time.
Okay.
So since we're talking about time anyway, and we're talking about like the 9 to 5 situation, some people don't have sick, they don't accrue anything. Like you gotta come to work or you're not getting paid, you're not getting no sick leave, you're not getting no annual leave, anything. Do you think we could shift the 9 to 5 where it would work, where people still would get time with their families and time off, where we wouldn't have to think about like sick leave or annual leave, like 3 days a week or 4 days a week or anything like that? Do you think that shift could happen? And do you think it could work if it did happen?
I think it depends on the profession. Like for me, I personally would say if the whole company 3 days out the week and we straight, we Gucci. Yeah.
It works for my job. Like I can honestly say that they are centering more towards a healthy work-life balance right now. But that comes with the flexibility of me making my own hours. But it only works like that because I can make my own hours. Yeah. So if I have something going on in the day, I can just tell like my supervisors, hey, I'm starting my shift at 2 p.m. today instead of at 8 a.m. today. Yeah. And then I'll do my 8 hours from there, or I'll cut my day up based off of what's going on. If like using the example of her sister's graduation, I will work from 8, tell them I'm off for that period of the graduation, and then come back and finish the rest of the day. So
sounds
therefore,
like me.
I wouldn't use sick time for that.
Yep. That's like
I wouldn't use the 6 time. I just will be breaking up my 8-hour day,
which is dope.
Which is nice. Or if I decide to work on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm probably taking off Thursday and Friday. Yeah. So it's just like my job has that algorithm, but like she said, it really just depends on the job based off of my probationer's hours. So if I go out in the field, I have to go based off of when they're home. I can't go off of the 8 to 5 when they're at work.
And for me, so many different counterparts and departments to get my job done. If we were to all make our own hours, there would be no productivity. So I would love that. But for my profession, like I need IT, or I need this, or I need that, or I need the user. And if y'all all talking about something, I'm off until Tuesday. Well, I'm here until Tuesday, and then I'm off until next Tuesday. It wouldn't work.
I think it could work, but I think you would need teams. So you would need like at least 3 people per position, and you would have them on different work. So like for 3 months, you'll have the one person on like 3 days a week, and then the rest of the 4 days off. And the different person would be like 4 days a week, and then 3 days off. Like each person would have a set type schedule for like at least 3 months at a time. And I think that could work because essentially the world will still be working at 9 to 5, quote unquote, placement. You think that could work or not?
I don't know.
Is that wishful thinking?
I don't think it's wishful thinking. I think it's possible.
I think it can happen, but like I think for you, it wouldn't work for you. Like you probably wouldn't like that. But if they're going to hire somebody, they will have to make that known up front. Like,
yeah, of course,
you get hired. This is what the schedule looks like, and you will have to have that option to say, okay, I could do that, or I can't do that.
And I think that goes back to my point of that's what happens today. This is the schedule. Do you like it? Yes or no?
Gotcha. But I think for Gigi, she more so saying this will still give you 4 days of no working.
Right.
So it will free up your schedule instead of it being the same old 5 days a week kind of thing.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it depends on the profession, because we have a friend, Freeman. He works his schedule to where he, before, not now, but before, where he would work his 40 hours in 3 days. And then he had the rest of he was like able to do that. But like I said, I get what you're saying. You're saying. I'm just like, how does that differentiate from having true freedom?
Oh, I didn't say you don't have true freedom. I ain't say nothing like that. Do not.
The only true freedom there is to work. I ain't never say that. Like not work and get money. That's the only freedom anybody's ever gonna get. If I cannot work and get money, bro, gotta worry. That's freedom.
What you can.
You can, but I'm not there yet.
We're talking about 9 to 5. You're right. We're talking about other companies.
We ain't talking about freedom.
My mind is right. Everybody sees where my mind is, clearly.
Bro, like there is no freedom. Like going into a job is not freedom. Even if it's only 1 day a week, that's not freedom.
Yeah.
But I trust and believe. I'm trying to get some of your money. Give me my check.
Like, but how is that freedom? It's not. It's not freedom. It's paid indentured servitude.
But while we're having, how can we make this easier for you? That's pretty much what we're trying to figure out. How can we make this working life easier?
How can we make you happy?
Man.
Bro, but I will say this: out of all the jobs I ever had, I don't think it's going to get any better than how my schedule is now. Like,
okay,
the fact that I can make my own schedule and I can't, like, I know I said that I was stressed and everything, but if I decide that I really, really just don't want to be stressed, I can work my schedule to the point that I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out that balance. And I have not ever worked a job, especially in law enforcement, where I can schedule to the point that I don't need to use time. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It was unheard of to me before the job.
Yeah. And for me, my job did decide to go hybrid. We were working from home, but we went hybrid. So I work from Tuesday through Thursday in the office. It's a healthy balance now because I'm able to, the trainings that I want to do, I schedule the trainings. So I can be like, oh, I don't really feel like having a meeting during the midday or something until midday. Then I'll put in the afternoon, or I like to knock stuff early. So then my afternoons I can do what I want to do. And I can't be Gigi, she does it way better than me because she's like, when I'm at work, I focus at work. I don't. I find I'm working on the podcast. I'm doing this, that, and the third. If I can balance it in a certain way so I can have my me time later in the evening, I'm gonna do it.
Girl, all them eyeballs I got on me, I don't got time to look away. Like, unless my eyes were divergent in different directions, I don't have time for that. Like, I just can't.
And it's the same for me. Once I'm at work, I'm at work. Like, it's hard to do anything else because the job does consume your time.
Everything.
But what I have to work on now is just like when I'm home, being home. or like setting, like if I'm working from home on a certain day, setting certain hours that it's all focused on work. And then once those hours are done, just being like, okay, cut the work. That's the part that I haven't found the balance on yet.
Yeah, because I'll be seeing, I'm like, you still working?
And I'm like, yep, girl.
Like, yep. I'm like, but you know you're going to answer like one email. I'm going to distract you the whole time. Girl, just put it away. Just put it away.
So we already talked about like if you could do like you would rather be doing something else other than your 9 to 5, right? So like if you could do anything else besides your 9 to 5, what would it be?
Stripping.
I'm about to hit the club and dance like a stripper. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be working at the Pank.
Right. I'd be a songwriter.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
You've been saying that since college. It's time for you to make that happen.
I know. And I know I have a lot of friends in the music industry. I think that's the bigger thing. So I need to get my life together.
Get it up and going.
I am. Y'all see it though. We started with the podcast, one task at a time.
Did you already like have songs written and stuff like that? Or is just kind of like
I have songs everywhere, like on my phone. Every time I have a melody, I'll record it. I have books with songs in it. Y'all know I do poetry, so I'm actually working on my book right now. Once I work on my book.
What day is dropping?
Huh?
What day the book gonna drop?
Chill.
Bro,
but it will be this year. It'll be this year. It is dropping this year.
For me, I know this sounds weird for a lot of people, but it would either be dancing or it would be being a psychologist. If I got to choose my career, I know it's two separate things, but
you could be a dancing psychiatrist.
Gigi's face was like, what?
Like, what the heck? What you doing?
You can be a dancing psychiatrist. That is a market that's untouched.
Create your own.
Yeah, but in my mind, those were the two biggest things that makes me happy. Helping people, just like I said, get an aha moment, which a lot of that's more so in psychiatry or psychology. And dancing, I just always had a passion for dancing and loving dancing. But just the way life panned out, I can't do it as much as I did when I was younger. So,
but she can though, y'all. And she playing. She act like we ain't in Atlanta.
I can't dance for
we
real.
have this argument all the time, y'all.
I can't dance.
I'm like, yo, she used to like bang it out, dancing, crumping and everything. She's like, she lying. Why you lying to these people?
She was dancing like some of the people at Kiki. Did you dance in when we had the homecoming thing? What was that event called for homecoming?
Oh,
lip sync. Did you dance in lip sync?
Oh yes, I was actually Princess Tiana.
Yeah,
we did lip sync every year.
Some of those people at the dance practices would have me on the floor.
It's funny
was off, but their commitment was there.
Really?
I've never done lip sync. I did a lip sync that final year.
For anybody who doesn't know lip sync, so we went to a PWI. A predominantly white institution, and for homecoming, what we would do is these competitions for everything.
Yep.
We had float competitions,
parades, banner
competitions,
singing the alma mater,
and remixing it. Like it was a vibe. So, but then there was something, and we always pick a theme, right? So then we would also have something called lip sync, where we would chop and screw a whole bunch of songs and do literally like a whole storytelling routine.
Yes, and you have to incorporate, you have to dance, you have to incorporate like the theme of the school, like whatever the theme was for that year, you have to incorporate the theme on top of still sticking to like stuff that's school related, like things that's UConn related. So it was cool. Like cool. It's the best that a PWI can do. Yeah, that's the only thing I can
say. Yeah.
Partying 24/7. It was a lot of fun, and the competition was real. Like everybody,
it really was
always gonna be the top 3 or
culture
top
centers,
4.
Of course.
Culture centers always had it, but like everybody had their lane. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the fraternities and sororities, the float was their thing.
Yes.
Yep. The float was their thing.
Yeah, it's always the float. Yep.
Yeah. That was like their thing, but like we had the dancing and singing together and the choir. I mean, the remix. Ooh.
Oh, ours was always top.
Y'all can Google it. Y'all can go on YouTube. Just put in lip sync. UConn lip sync.
You'll see some stuff there. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, those would be my choices. If I could go back and say this will make me happy in a career, those would be my choices.
Darling, I do not dream of work. Ain't that what that boy said? Ain't that what that man
Yes.
said? No, honestly, I don't know what I would do because, like I said, like I'm transitioning. I don't know who I am anymore. So maybe I probably would be good at. I mean, doing hair comes easy to me, so maybe I would do hair
Would you
and
be happy
makeup.
doing
Would
that
you be
though? Like, is
happy?
that your passion?
My passion is to travel and be catered to. Like, what do you mean?
Boom, it
I
is.
don't think that that's a job. Like, I don't think that they have
But
It
that.
nothing
is.
should be a job. It's a
It is.
passion.
Anything could be a job. I mean, honestly, you can make anything your career, but you know
So
what they
anybody
say.
hiring for a person that wants to get spoiled and traveled around,
It's called
hit
sugar
me
daddy.
up,
For
'cause
real.
I'm in the market for a
Called
job.
sugar daddy, sweetheart.
Actually, while you
But I don't
playing,
want to
you
give up
two
any sugar, so
university. While you
don't be
playing,
asking me for no sugar because I ain't got no sugar to give up. But
yeah. But while
But
you playing,
sugar always
it's
sexual in
quality
nature. Sometimes
time.
it's just quality time.
And
what if
on
I don't
YouTube
want that? Is what
University,
I'm
there's
telling you.
sugar babies
I
who's
don't
giving
have
the
no
whole
quality
game.
time to give, is what I'm saying.
You would if they paid for you. Like if you ain't got to go to work,
If
you
they
got
go,
plenty of quality time.
Well, then that's not
Gigi,
the job I want, is what I'm saying. Then
Gigi, let me ask you. If they say, yo, I just want you to be on the yacht for 7 days, you got your own room, you got everything for by yourself. I just need you to be in the same space as me. You gonna say no?
oh yeah, I could do that. That kind of stuff, yeah, I could do. But
See?
I can't be in the same space all the time. Like he can't be like, you gotta be here in my eyesight every time. Like, no, we're not doing that. Get your
Yeah,
ass
but you
to the
set your
bottom of
own,
the ship
but
so I
you
can
set your own
enjoy this
boundaries.
view.
You set your own boundaries. It's whatever
Girl,
y'all figure out.
it is whatever y'all figure out, but you gotta give him something because he's paying for it.
You gotta give him time
Dude,
or something.
he can get my
FaceTime, give him
shoes that
something.
I wore that he brought me. He can get that, sniff those. I don't know. That's his pleasure. anyway, anyway, does money matter? Like, does money matter? Point blank. Is your job, your 9 to 5, mattering because of the money?
It only matters because of the money.
Damn!
I'm gonna keep it a buck. For the people that says money don't buy you happiness, let me find out.
It assists.
Like
it
definitely
And neither does being
assists.
broke. Broke don't buy you shit. So
It's like,
But I do feel being obsessed with money, you'll never get the money that you want.
exactly.
It won't even. It just won't get you to what you actually want. But to all your points with having the passion and then working on your passion and then the money coming because you're working on your passion. Like, oh, bet this is what I'm talking about. And then it's your passion. You work on your craft 24/7. I mean, it's not a job anymore. You're doing your passion and you're getting paid for it.
and
Hold
you getting
up.
paid.
I'm
So
getting paid for it.
there was a
That's
guy
nice.
who mentioned something about like, what if we have like these goals and these dreams and we have like these destinations that we want, we get there, and then we don't even like it, or we're not even satisfied with that, like,
Then you change
or
course.
it's not what we thought it was gonna be. Like, how do we pivot from that? Like, is what he was saying.
But I think we do that in life.
Yeah.
I think we go for a job and we're like, this ain't it. This ain't it. The one that I was telling you about with me quitting the job, I didn't have no backup. I didn't do nothing. All I knew was I was crying every night. It was paying the bills and the money was good, especially for that time. And it gave me a whole bonus just to, come through. But I wasn't happy, so I quit. Money just wasn't worth it. And he literally opened a whole bunch of doors and I was good. But let me tell you something. If you're not happy, just don't do it. But we posted that on our Instagram story just the other day with old boy Rodney. Mm-hmm. He was talking about like, you can't say you don't like something until you do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So try it. And if you don't like it and you figure you don't like it, then find another way.
Yep. And I'm big into like shifting. Like for me, I'm gonna try it. And if it just doesn't work out, then I'm gonna make a plan on what my next step is gonna be. Trying something and failing at it or feeling like, oh, this is not what I thought it would be. I don't think that's the wrong thing. Yeah. But if you didn't go for it, how did you know it was gonna make you happy or not?
Yeah.
We have ideas on what we think something's gonna be once we get there. And if it's not what that is, okay, that's fine. Plan B. Let's figure out what our next move is gonna be and see if, okay, is this other thing gonna make us happy?
Yeah.
But I don't think wouldn't be anything wrong with adapting and shifting when you realize what you thought was going to make you happy actually did it.
Yeah. It's the people who's trying to chase the paper. Dang, I don't want to do that, but it makes 6 figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now money does matter. Let me be the first to tell you, money matters, but don't be just chasing money, because then you really will never be happy just chasing money. Because
find a balance.
I can find a way that's gonna make me or miserable. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna compromise that extra 20,000 and it takes away my life.
Exactly.
So yeah, for me, money does matter, and I literally left Germany. I was in an amazing environment, very happy, was very happy. Like, just the happiness was like unlimited for me. And then I moved to New York, rough ass New York, for for like for like a significant raise. But when I got here, it really wasn't what I had assumed it would be. And so now I am in the process of redefining what I think is happiness, or what I think is like what I think makes me feel alive again.
Yeah.
So I could see where it's like when you get to that destination, or you get to that promotion that you want, like it might not be what you thought it was gonna be. And for me, like it's so like sobering, because like I was like on a high, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna promote. I want to grow with this company. Like I want to be here. Don't get me wrong. I still want to grow with the company, because what I do, I enjoy seeing their happy faces, or like seeing them be relieved from like the stress that they go through every day. You know, I'm just trying to figure it out as well. Like I gotta redefine a whole bunch of different things that I thought I knew so much about. Let me tell y'all, just because you 30, just because you get into 30, just because you pass 30, if you're in your 40s or 50s, it don't mean you know a damn thing. All you learn as you get older and get more information is that you know nothing at all.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, I think that's this old saying too. It's like in your 20s, you knew everything. But when you're 30, it's like, I don't know nothing.
Wait a minute. Who said we do something?
Nobody can tell me nothing in my 20s, but now
so
it's like, I need to give you some information.
So speaking of promoting, are either of you interested in promoting in your careers?
Curious to know what our answers are? Make sure you tune in to Got Me Working Day and Night Part 2. See you on the next one.